Good morning and welcome to Fast Horses Today. Today is Friday. It is May 9th and the start of the race week over at Santa Anita. So Friday's card, I got a 9-race card and there's some interesting races there. I do like several horses. I'm going to make some win bets today. So let's get started over at Santa Anita. Okay, we're going to get started in the first race at Santa Anita. The first race has an approximate post time of 1 o'clock Pacific, so 3 o'clock here in the Central Time Zone. And they're starting off their card with a maiden special weight Calbred. And these are 3-year-olds and up. They're running a mile on the grass. Good field of horses signed on. And I'm going to go with a horse here I like. It's the 5-horse Going Nowhere, trained by Ron Ellis. Ron Ellis puts the apprentice Orontis on the horse. And these folks have done some pretty good work. Did some good work for me last week. I had given out a nice winner and bet a nice winner there. I think the horse paid 6-1 or something of that order. It was the same team of Ron Ellis and Orontis in a maiden special weight. So I'm going to go with them again here with the 5-horse Going Nowhere. 5-2 in the program. I'm going against the favorite being the 3-horse Outworker. At horse 8-5 in the program, going against that horse. So Going Nowhere, as I mentioned, Ron Ellis. Ellis put this horse in and twice on the dirt at maiden 50,000 claiming level, and the horse just kind of ran evenly to or even sub-even on one of those races. But when they put this horse on the turf, it seems like this horse has done much better running on grass and running long on grass. And, I like the 2 races that he's run on grass. He ran up against King of Clubs and Anan. And King of Clubs is a very nice horse who ended up winning his next race. And Anand's a very nice horse as well. Anand went on to win a couple weeks back. But, he ran with Anand twice, actually. So came fourth to King of Clubs and Anand. Followed that up with a second-place finish to Kanani. And ended up beating Anand on the wire. So Anand came back to win, breaking his maiden in a very nice fashion. And I just like the way this horse has shown the ability on the grass and ability on a 2-turn grass race, which this is what this race is today. So 5-2. I'm going to expect we might get somewhere around that price at 5-2. And we'll take that win bet with the 5 Going Nowhere in the first race. All right, we're going to skip over the next few races and go over to the 5th race of the day. 5th race of the day has an approximate post time at 3:05 Pacific, so 5:05 here in the Central Time Zone. This is a California-bred first-level allowance race, and they're running 6 furlongs on the flat grass. And again, that's the flat grass course. So I do have a horse here I'm going to make a win bet on in the 5th race. I'm going to go with the 6-horse, was Lamborghini. Doug O'Neill, Antonio Fresu here. Now, going to go against the favorite again. Favorite being, there'll probably be a couple horses getting bet here. I would imagine the 2 Danzin with Maxine and the 3-horse Ultimate High will be probably bet down. But I do like Lamborghini. So now the Doug O'Neill barn has started off this Santa Anita spring meet, rather cold, for a guy like Doug O'Neill. So it looks to me like they're putting this horse in where this horse belongs. They probably want to get off the schneid. Well, not really get off the schneid. They do have a win. But, just get the barn rolling. So Lamborghini does show a really good record at Santa Anita on the grass, having 9 starts, 3 wins, 2 seconds, and a third. So certainly likes the grass course over there in Arcadia and, likes the turf in general. So, this horse had been running with some better horses in her latest, several races. And, I think that finding the softer company here, this allowance first level. Now, she qualifies here because they're putting her in for the 20,000 claim. I don't see that as a panic drop. This horse, a 4-year-old filly Calbred, she's kind of run out of her condition. So it's, you've got to figure out a spot where she can run. So again, I think the, O'Neill barn's being realistic. she's run some even races this year. And 7-2, I think Lamborghini has found a field where, I think that she could run by and win this race. And we'll take the 7-2 if we can. So we got the 6-horse in the 5th race being Lamborghini. All right, now let's go to the 6th race of the day. 6th race of the day is a maiden $50,000 claiming race, Calbreds. These are 6.5 furlongs on the dirt, and these are 3-year-olds and up. And I do have a horse that I do like, and also it would be the ultimate hunch play with this week, and that's the 6-horse, Pio Nono. Now, 6 horse in the 6th race, Pio Nono. Pio Nono was the name of Pope Pius IX. That was the longest. That's been the longest sitting pope in the history of the papacy. So this being the week that we had a new pope elected, bless Pope Leo the 14th, coming from my hometown here of Chicago. And, people here are really excited, that Pope Leo the 14th was elected pope. And, it's been a great story here in the Windy City. So the 6 horse here, Pio Nono, certainly a hunch play for what has happened, in us getting a new pope. But here's, beside the hunch play, here's the reason why I like the 6. This horse had run one time in his career. And this horse trained by Vladimir Serene, and today is ridden by Kazushi Kimura. Now, in his initial start, he ran on the same level here, maiden $50,000 claiming. Juan Hernandez on the horse that day. The horse kind of just had a bit of a sluggish start, just kind of, I don't know, first start, knocking the rust off, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, ran towards the back of the field, but made a very nice move and ran kind of like a pro, in my opinion, for being a first starter. Now, Hernandez is not on the horse today. I don't know that Hernandez is riding in California today. But Kimura takes the call, which is certainly no problem there. Now, this horse, made a nice move, ended up getting beat on the wire in a 6 furlong race. So running 6.5 here. I think if this horse runs anywhere around that type of race, I think should be good enough here. There's not a lot of fast horses in this race, and I do like the way Pio Nono ran in his first start. So I'm going to give this horse a shot here at breaking his maiden. 3-1, Kazushi Kimura. We're going to see if we get 3-1. There might be a lot of hunch play bettors there with Pio Nono, but we'll see. But we'll make a win bet on the 6 horse and the 6th race, Pio Nono. All right, now let's go to the 8th race of the day. 8th race of the day is this is a Northern California style race, the $5,000 claiming level here, 5.5 on the dirt. And the 8th race post time is about 4:30 Pacific, so 6:30 here. Now again, these are fillies and mares 3 and up, and this is restricted, for Northern California horses or horses who have started for $62.50 in one of their last couple starts. So, it's really geared towards those Northern California horses, but they have opened it up to others who have run in, the lower rung races. So, in this race, I'm going to take a shot with a long shot. I do like the 8 horse. 8 horse being Rose of Jericho. Now, Samuel Calvario is a trainer, and he puts Giovanni Franco on the horse. Now, Calvario, has had a very tough 2025 over at Santa Anita. I mean, with the closure of Northern California tracks, Calvario brought horses down here. He's had some okay horses, but seems to be like a lot of in-the-money finishes, but wins have been hard to come by. So I'm going to give this horse a shot here. I like the last couple races that she's run. I think she's run with much better horses. She dips into this $5,000 level. I like the jock switch from Cristobal Herrera to Giovanni Franco. Herrera was having a really hard time winning races, over the winter, spring at Santa Anita. I think Giovanni Franco should do much better here. Also with the drop in class to 5,000. I would guess that Calvario Barn just has to get realistic and start placing horses better. The horses have run fine. It's not like they're running terribly, but they're not winning races. So I think this strikes me as a horse that they're putting this horse in where she belongs at 5,000, 8-1 on the horse. I think we might get that because, the handicappers may let this horse get by. So I think Rose of Jericho is worth a win bet, and that would be in the 8th race. All right, now let's recap the day and recap the tickets. Okay, so for today, Friday, May 9th at Santa Anita, we've got 4 win bets here that I'm going to make here on Friday. We're going to move over to the first race. I'm going to go make a win bet on the 5 horse, Going Nowhere. Move to the 6th race. The 5th race, the 6 horse, Lamborghini. The 6th race, the 6 horse, Pio Nono. And then finally the 8th race, the 8 horse, Rose of Jericho. So those are 4 win bets I'm going to make. If you see fit to play as is, I wish you the best of luck. If you want to use these horses in your multi-race wagers, your pick 5s, your daily doubles, pick 3s, it might be worth putting in there. So whatever you decide to do, I wish you the best of luck. Let's wish the folks over at Santa Anita a very safe day of racing and start this week off nicely. So as always, I do ask you to do me a favor. If you haven't done so, please hit that subscribe button and join the audience. It doesn't cost anything, just puts you into the feed, when new content's created. And thank you so much to those who have hit the subscribe button. And I also want to give a shout out to a local station here, ESPN 1000, Carmen and Jurko in the middays. They gave me a nice plug and shout out for Fast Horses today. Thanks so much, fellas. Appreciate that. Hopefully I can give you some winners. You can like, dislike, make comments. I promise to respond to everyone. Let's create a discussion. So again, thank you so much for watching Fast Horses today and listening to the picks. And let's start this week off strongly at Santa Anita, the great race place. And we'll see you tomorrow.